Yo, my name is Gerbizzle. I'm feeling really clean. Got a 12-inch dong and I like the machine. I pull up to the scene and I'm looking pristine. Looking really clean like a washing machine. I like Charlie Sheen. I hit her with that beam. My money's green like Jeffrey Epstein. But I only hit it if she's over 18. I hit her with that. I already said that. Alrighty. Jeffrey. Why do you have to do that, you know? Just running around fucking all those kids. Damn shame, really. Wasn't cool. Wasn't very cool of him, I would say. So, it's a beautiful fall night. I'm under the candlelight. Kind of spooky. Yeah, this reminds me. I made a video I don't think I ever released where I tried to summon a succubus. I did it for like a fun. I was trying to make it a funny video, but I genuinely tried to summon a succubus. That was the point, because I really wanted to do that shit. Maybe capture something paranormal on the old camera. So you have to light a candle and meditate under that bitch for like an hour and write a note and then burn it. I did some pretty wild, wacky shit, and thank God it didn't work, because then none of that's real. But, you know, I would have probably gotten some sort of curse mark or started craving wiener or something. Okay, I don't really like this lighting. Probably just looks not good. Whoa. All right. That's not the point. I was going to recall some stories from my middle school days, around there. Maybe, I can't remember all the grades. I was just a little fellow running around, you know, quite an edgy little lad. Just making pretty provocative jokes with my other Caucasian peers. Actually, I had a very diverse friend group at that age. We were just very edgy, and got in some trouble for that, but that's a different story. Yeah, these are going to be pretty brutal. This is going to be some blackpill incel type content. And that's not a bad thing. Incels get a bad rap. They're just like they're just dudes, you know? Not everything is in your control. Some shit just happens, you know? It doesn't mean you shouldn't take responsibility, but at the end of the day, your genes, your environment, that's what it is, baby. You're given a hand, and all you could do is try to play it, but then people with pocket aces are like, dude, why aren't you playing the game? Like, you're supposed to be better. Like, just shut the fuck up. Alrighty. So, I remember one time, I was a little fellow, and I was a sort of jolly, like a jester. I'd run around making people laugh, doing things with my little body. And at recess, sometimes I used to get, like, some kids to grab me by the arms, and, like, they'd pull me. I would be laid down, and they'd grab my arms. Then they'd pull me, and I'd go flying, and then, like, run. I'd land on my feet and run. But one time, like, a lot of people got into, I forgot what happened, but they were about to do it, and then just a bunch of people grabbed my feet, too, and just threw me, like, 8 feet up into the air. And I'm not, like, I don't have anti-gravity technology in my goddamn feet or something, so I can't maneuver myself to land after being thrown in the air like that. So I just landed on my back, whiplash, hit the ground. I think I was, I don't know if I was on the concrete. I fucking can't remember because I got a concussion. So they just threw me up into the air. My head hit the ground. I got really bad whiplash. My neck was hurting for days. And I also got a concussion, I'm pretty sure, because I was out for like 3 seconds. But then after I woke up, they were all like standing over me. They seemed kind of like a little bit remorseful, but then they were like also snickering. And this is kind of like a peep into my psyche, some bad parts about my personality, just like not at all confrontational, because they did that, and then I can't remember what I said, but then I said something. I did not confront them about it at all. I was angry inside, but I didn't show it. I said something that made them laugh. I was like, I forgot what I said, but I said something to make them laugh, because in my mind that was just the easiest way to escape the situation. And then I just got up, went in to go in lunch, and these were like the kids I usually didn't hang around with, like the more athletic kids. And they were, after they did it, they were like, I guess, virtue signaling, like treating me like a legend, like, oh, that was so funny, that was so cool. And I tried to sit with them at lunch after, but there wasn't a space. They were like, no. So then I just went and sat with my usual friends. So that was kind of a brutal thing that happened. Another time, this was in math class, the last period. There was this girl, one of the more popular girls, kind of pretty at the time. I wouldn't say she's pretty now. Now, don't get me wrong here. At the time, she was probably 13. So me, being over 18 at this age, looking back at it now through my 8th grade eyes, she was pretty. But if given the opportunity, just to clarify, I'm not like Jeffrey Epstein, okay? What he did was a travesty. It was really bad what he did. So, but no, I was in math class, the last period, and this girl was like, give me your hand. And at first I was like, oh wow, a girl wants to see my hand. But I also didn't really trust people at this point, because it might have been after that first incident chronologically. So not the same day, but like whatever, later on in the year. So I'm like, no, I'm not going to give you my hand. And then she's like, I'm not going to hurt you. Just give me your hand. And I'm like, okay, she's not going to hurt me. She said she wasn't going to hurt me. So I gave her my hand, and she fucking bent my pinky back, like, really far. And, I made a wide face of pain, because that shit hurt bad. And then, yeah, she just, like, I tugged my hand away, and she started laughing. And then I was like, I think another girl reprimanded her, and she was like, I'm sorry. She acted all remorseful. And then like 10 minutes later, she did it to another kid. I'm like, what the fuck? And that other kid got mad at her. And it's another gleam into my psyche. I didn't do shit. Like, I just pulled my hand away, and that was it. And I just like continued doing my math work. I did not confront her, because I think at a young age, I can trace it back, because I used to fight people a lot when I was young, and I would always get told off. So these fucking people, these authority figures in my life when I was young, told me not to fight back. In a Pavlovian sense, I was fucking punished for defending myself. So then when these things happen later on, I have this negative feedback loop of when people do fucked up shit to me, I don't do anything. I can't do anything. Another time, I was in Spanish class, and this guy just choked me out. Like, I don't think he was intending to fully choke me out, but I was a late bloomer, and I was just a lot smaller than other kids. So in exerting the same force in my neck, he cut off my blood flow much easier than any of these other kids, because I was one of the smallest kids in the school. That's kind of one of the things that made it brutal. So yeah, he choked me out, and I remember having like a very pleasant dream that seemed a lot longer than it was, because I was only out for like 15 seconds, and he didn't drop me on the ground or anything. He laid me down on a bed of roses, so I guess that was nice of him. But when I woke up, my crush was like at the door looking down at me, and she wasn't even in the fucking class. Like that's like a cruel joke. That bitch had no reason to be there, and she just appeared 15 seconds later after I woke up, like spazzing on the ground. Because when you get choked out, you kind of flop on the ground a little bit. That's what happens. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, I think I don't trust people. I'm very what is it? Blessed. I'm very lucky and thankful to have friends from childhood that, it's not even up to me that I got those friends. I was just socialized well because of my parents. I was blessed in a lot of ways, but I have a good family connection, and I have and I have some friends, right? But I haven't made any new friends since, like, after those moments, after early high school, because it's just like, I don't fucking like people. I don't trust people. Why should I? And I'm also super lucky to have grown, to have actually become more attractive, to have been a late bloomer and not just a complete genetic failure. Because now I can actually, sort of participate in the hierarchy. Because some people, they just stay like that. And I know there are probably people like that who are watching me, who because I make black pill content, like sort of adjacent to the manosphere, kind of. And I really feel for you, because it's just, I was blessed to have grown and sort of ascended from that. And even still, I don't know if I can ascend from that, because I have like permanent damage that I just don't fuck with people. I just don't like them. And even though, I could get the little surfer curtains, get the fucking fake jewelry, Style Max, E-Boy Max, all this gay shit, and, try to do that a little bit over the summer, and it works. I could find some girls, whatever. But I can't, it doesn't really matter. That's just, all the people who can't get any are probably going to say, like, oh, you're still lucky, but it didn't really help. Didn't really help just trying to, run around and pork some girls with green hair, So, yeah. Yep. Girls who say they're bisexual. Dude, all these girls on dating apps, and even if you're just like on a college campus in real life, like 80% of them say they're bisexual. I don't know what's going on there. No, you're not. Like, they're not. Yeah. Yeah, and it's weird. I remember at that time I was still sort of delusional. In the movies, it seems like guys like me who are picked on like that, they get some sort of respite in the form of a girl who likes them for who they are during school. And that's like, not only is it not the truth, it's the actual opposite of the truth. Because, I mean, we're getting kind of incel-y black pill territory, but it's facts, I'm technically not an incel, but I'm pretty black pilled, Women are biologically hardwired to not like guys like that who are getting picked on and at the bottom. It's the Matthew effect. It's some of the most brutal shit. You're rewarded for stepping on other people. Yeah. But it's all good, baby. I grew. Fuck it. I grew. I got a little jawline. Started playing guitar. Started fingering bitches. I'm all good. Don't worry about me. But everybody out there who didn't get the privilege of growing 6 inches their junior year of high school and suddenly becoming not a facial goblin, I feel for you. I do this for you in many ways, talking to my older self. I understand it's not your fault. More people should understand. Um, I mean, it's weird because even as time passes, I begin to maybe get a little bit less sympathy because based on who you are, you live in a different reality. So you just don't perceive things. It totally makes sense why everybody thinks what they think. If I was fucking a creature is in here, dude. You need to leave the fuck out of here. Really just totally jacked my ADHD train of thought. If I was like an attractive Chad from the start, I wouldn't be talking about any of this shit unless I was directly forced through some other means for me to come across this information, because you have to go through this sort of failure to even acknowledge these things. Otherwise, if you don't personally experience it, it's just not real for you. Yeah. All right, have a blessed day.